Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for May 19, 2025, the definition of corruption edition. We begin with that story from The Guardian, where it quotes Democratic Senator Chris Murphy as saying the flying gift from Qatar to the president is the very definition of corruption. So why did he choose those countries for his first foreign trip? Well, it's not because they're our most important allies in the world. It's because they're, quote, willing to pay him off, end quote. So that this is the definition of corruption, according to Senator Murphy. Next up in a story, interesting story from Bloomberg, not compliance, but I think everyone should take a look at it. It's how Apple fell behind in the AI race. And obviously, Apple's pulled out all the stops to bring in AI tools, but they seem to be as far away as ever from moving forward with it. And they advertised it was going to come out on new iPhones. It never came out. A complete disconnect between Apple marketing and Apple engineering. Bad news for Apple. They usually deliver. Next up from Reuters, a very interesting article in the Huawei criminal case, which has a Jenner and Block lawyer or defense team, and the judge is concerned that Huawei cannot get it counsel now. And the DOJ said, you have to bring in new lawyers for security clearance, and the judge is not having that. So we may get a ruling from a sitting trial judge about the attempts from the government to prevent lawyers from having security clearances simply because Donald Trump doesn't like them. And this really points to the invidiousness of Trump's orders, as Jenner and Block is one of 4 firms targeted by Trump's executive orders based on lawyers that the president said did not align with the administration's priorities. And it's a very poor excuse to deny a defendant their rights. And our final story comes to us from late last week, but it's important enough that Matt Gallotti, who is the head of the criminal division, announced a new DOJ policy on the corporate enforcement policy. It promises for quicker decisions on declinations, and that effective immediately, the criminal division will work with companies that self-disclose and remediate and cooperate extensively with the government to garner declinations. The primary message is the DOJ wants companies to come in and self-disclose. It's not new to emphasize self-disclosure, but the new CEP makes clear that companies that are eligible to receive significant benefits, an NPA, even if they discover criminal activity and can't meet the rest of the requirements, an NPA with 75% reduction in criminal fines with no monitorship. So that's certainly going to interest companies, and they need to take a look at it. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.